It is week 5 of the Wolf Draft League, and your Jubilife Piplups are currently taking on Nekkra and her Shoutcasting Sylveons. If you don't know, Nekkra is a phenomenal VGC commentator. We've been on the same esports team, and we've actually played in VGC Draft League before. She has played against me in the SPL, which was the Struggle Premier League, which was the last VGC draft I did. And even though we were able to win that set 2-0, this is definitely a new roster. She's got a phenomenal team of heavy threats, such as the Tyranitar, which is going to be annoying for my Ninetales weather setup, the Garchomp, which I'm never looking forward to playing against, especially with Terastization as an option, very heavy offensive threats such as the Cypher. I'm expecting Technician, Bullet Punch, Hitmontop, as that could be a really big threat. Bunch of fairy types like Clefable and Alcremie, which are actually very threatening to my roster build. So it's not going to be an easy week. Let's see the team that I cooked up with, and let's display it now. So this is the team I have cooked for the Shoutcast Sylveon match. We have the first 4, which I felt like were pretty much the most solid mode that I can go for. We're going like an HO hyper offensive mode again this time, because I do have the faster Pokemon than Nekkra does have. She does have, for instance, the Cypher and the Fletchinder for the Tailwind option, but I do have some techs to go against those Pokemon. And we do have this combination of the quick attack Kilowattrel with Focus Sash, because Focus Sash Kilowattrel, of course, very classic, allows it pretty much for me to deny like Tailwind plus try to KO the Kilowattrel immediately to deny my Tailwind. So I am completely okay with that. I have quick attack because it'll break the Gale Wings of that Fletchinder, which means it won't get the Tailwind up immediately. And then I'll try to snipe it with Rock Slide from either my Crocodile or my Annihilate as the option. We have Weather Ball because I do have the option to go for the Alolan Ninetales switch to Weather Ball, catch either the Garchomp or maybe the Rotom-Mow or the Cypher. Those are options there, while T-Bolt does some pretty impressive damage in general, and of course need to get the Tailwind up. Life Orb Crocodile going to be pretty important. This allows me to outspeed Fletchinder, Gyarados, and it is going to be really nice here against those Pokemon to deny again any Tailwind modes. We have the high horsepower, which is ground coverage specifically against the Tyranitar and any Steel Terror types that she might decide to bring, because I do think her team is a little bit weak to my Alolan Ninetales offensively. So I'm going to run the high horsepower, no Earthquake because I'm not running Protect on my other mons, and I only have Kilowattrel as my immunity. So yeah, I am just running the high horsepower. Gunk Shot, which is going to be important with the Terra Poison. This allows me to take on the fighting moves from the Hitmontop as well as the fairy type moves from the Clefable and the Alcremie, and threaten the same type of attack bows Gunk Shot to put on a lot of pressure against them. The Annihilate here with the Assault Vest is going to be useful to help out against the Tyranitar. She does have double Intimidate options with Hitmontop Gyarados. I'm not really expecting the double Intimidate to be brought. Maybe Intimidate on one of them. I'm more expecting Technician Hitmontop if brought, and the Gyarados, I could see it being Moxie over the Intimidate, but I could also see Intimidate as well if she's fearing my Crocodile a bit. But in general, Assault Vest is pretty good, especially into the special attackers like that Clefable and Alcremie to take the special fairy type moves a bit better. Drain Punch to threats into Tyranitar. We have Rage Twist as a strong ghost type move that's just effective against everything. Gunk Shot for the Rotom as well as the fairies once again, and Rock Slide for the Cypher and the Fletchinder. Finally, last Pokemon is going to be the Choice Specs Alolan Ninetales, and really the idea of this Alolan Ninetales is to throw off some heavy damage. Freeze Dry is wonderful into the Garchomp and the Gyarados for 4 times of effective damage, and ice coverage is really strong against her, as well as fairy coverage. She doesn't exactly have a single fairy resist on her team, so Moonblast is looking pretty strong if I do set it up correctly. And to cover for any Terra Steals, again, for the poison type moves as well as my ice type moves, do have the Terra Ground, Terra Blast on deck in case, because I am worried about the Bullet Punch on the Hitmontop as well as potential Iron Head Garchomp. So that's the reason why I decided to go with the Terra Ground. It also allows me to resist the Rock Slides from the Tyranitar. The final 2 kind of are filler mons, because I wasn't 100% certain on like what my best combination was in the back, because I felt like my first 4 are like really solid coverage wise into like a majority of her team. So I decided, you know what, more reason to scare the fairies, because we have fairy hate in this league here, is going to be the Shucka Berry Reverum to cover for the Garchomp with the filter, and Terra Ice just to bluff Terra Blast, but a Shift Gear, Gunk Shot, Iron Head, and Protect. Not sure about Protect. I almost went with Temper Flare or high horsepower, but I was like, yeah, I'm not sure if that's really necessary. I already got a lot of good coverage against the steel types in general that's brought. So yeah, that's going to be the Reverum here. If I set it up while I'm getting like a double knockout, I think it could be good. Same idea with the Blastoise because water types are pretty strong here. So have that Shell Smash Blastoise. Again, if I can get a double knockout with like Ninetales and set up for that position, then I could go for the Shell Smash with Blastoise. Again, I don't expect to really bring Reverum or Blastoise. I think my first 4 were just super solid. The back 2 were definitely a bit sloppy, but I feel like the first 4 just cover so much of what she could bring. I felt like it was the best combination to just have in general, while just playing mind games with like what she might be influenced to bring, because I have the Reverum and the Blastoise, for example. So we're going to see how this goes, but let's get into the week against Nekkra. All right, we have week, my brain is so cooked. What week is this? Week 5, I think, versus Nekkra. All right, Houndstone, Cypher, Gyarados, Alcremie, Hitmontop, and Clefable. I was dealing with tech issues, so let's see if we can pull through. No T-Tar, which is actually pretty interesting. I was expecting to see T-Tar, but no T-Tar is very interesting. Brought both Gyarados and Hitmontop, so I'm very curious if they're like Moxie and Technician over like Intimidate, which I wouldn't be surprised. But yeah, Clefable and Alcremie, the fairy types are just really good against me. Reverum is actually pretty good. Reverum is actually pretty good, especially no Garchomp. What? There's no Garchomp on this team. Yeah, there's no Garchomp on this team, which is crazy to me. Okay, how do I want to perform against this? I was thinking of doing like Kilowatts or Tailwind stuff, which I think is pretty good against a team. Like I could lead Ninetales. I could lead Ninetales right off the bat, which is actually pretty decent here. Or I could lead Annihilate immediately. Ninetales plus Annihilate is actually a pretty good lead, I think, for the most part. I don't know if they have Tailwind, but realistically, I don't see a reason not to lead Ninetales plus Annihilate. I think back-wise, what would I want for game 1? Should I just stick to game plan of Kilowattra plus Crocodile? I think so. I think so. Because I didn't plan on bringing Reverum unless it was like super fairy heavy build, and it is. So I think Reverum can put in a ton of work. Blastoise can also. There's a good chance for Blastoise to put in work, but I need to figure out if the Hitmontop has Wide Guard, which is a pretty big deal. I'm thinking it's going to be like Technician, Bullet Punch, which is gonna be a little bit concerning, so I gotta be careful about that. But let's see what she decides to go for here. It's going to be the lead of Clefable, Hitmontop. Okay, but that's not like too surprising to me as I lead Hitmontop, Annihilate, RD Technician. No warning activates. Yeah, you want to assume it's Technician. Okay, so this isn't like the best position for my Annihilate, but it's like all right for the most part. I do expect a Bullet Punch to come out. I can go for like Terra Fairy, or I can go for Terra Ground Moonblast here. I don't really need my Terra on anything, I think, in this matchup, just in general. I don't need it on Kilowattra and Crocodile. I feel like if I get rid of Clefable, I don't really need the Terra Poison. So you know what? I'm going to go for my Terra Ground. Just go for that Moonblast immediately into the Clefable. And you know what? We're just firing off a Gunk Shot immediately into the Clefable. I think that's pretty good. If I get rid of that Clefable, I think it's a good position here. So let's see. But yeah, I am expecting the Bullet Punch here, which is acceptable. We will go for the Terra Ground to cover for that Bullet Punch. Helping Hand Bullet Punch? They fake out my Ninetales. Oh, that's unfortunate. Okay. So they go for the fake out. I missed a Gunk Shot too. No, not like this. Cosmic Power. What? Okay. Cosmic Power. That is not good for me. What Terra is this? This is Terra Steel, right? On the Clefable? Yes, Terra Steel. So it's not awful. Bit unfortunate, but you know what? That is what we have to do sometimes. I will just go for a Blizzard. I'm just going to go straight for damage here. And I think I'm just going to go for a Drain Punch into the Hitmontop, because if Blizzard Drain Punch KOs, I like to see how much bulk the Hitmontop has, and I don't think I really need to attack Clefable. Protect is pretty interesting, so I don't mind that. All right, cool. Able to get a Blizzard off. I could have went for like Moonblast as well, which would have been fair, but I like the idea if I can get the KO on Hitmontop. Okay, that Blizzard did a lot of damage, but not nearly enough. Unfortunately, I missed a knockout with Drain Punch, but we get to find out the item. Oh, Coaching. Interesting. Okay, so this is support Hitmontop with Fake Out and Coaching. Interesting. Unfortunately, they get 2 layers of defense, which is not great for me, but this is still playable. I think I'm just going to go for a Blizzard, and I go for the Gunk Shot still into the Clefable. Let me check the damage real quick. We might as well. The Drain Punch and the Hitmontop, it doesn't look like it's max HP, or I got like a really high roll if that's the case. The Ninetales Blizzard, it might just be around max HP Hitmontop. I think I maybe got a few high rolls, but granted, I don't think this is too bad. I think I'm going to go for a double up into the Hitmontop slot, I think. Yeah, I'm going to double up the Hitmontop slot in case this is wide guard, which I don't really expect wide guard here, but it's just nice to cover for. I kind of wish I did actually go with a Fire or Stomping Tantrum here, but that's acceptable. We're going to see a Terra here from the Clefable into Terra Steel, which is fine because my Crocodile can now hit super effectively, and so can my Annihilate with Drain Punch. So it's not like that bad. I imagine that means the Hitmontop is either protecting. Okay, no protect. Blizzard comes out, kills the Hitmontop. Beautiful. So Hitmontop goes down, which is nice. Unfortunately, I went for the Gunk Shot here into the Hitmontop slot, but not too bad. All right, what are they going for? Moonblast? Sword Power. That shouldn't KO Annihilate. Yeah, that did nothing. Leftovers. Okay, good to know. Good to know. So I should write down the sets because this is an information game. So it's Fake Out, Coaching, and we don't know what the other is. This is how Creamy come. Oh, I need to get rid of that threat ASAP. I need to get rid of that threat ASAP. Okay, Store Power, Cosmic Power. Okay. Also, you might be hearing my keyboard because I got a new mechanical keyboard. So if that's loud, I apologize. But yeah, okay, good to know. I should get the KO on Alcremie with the Gunk Shot plus the Blizzard. I'm just going to go for it. No reason not to. A Protect Clefable. My OBS is glitching. As I said, I had tech issues earlier. Please hit the Gunk Shot here into Alcremie because if we knock out the Alcremie, we're in such a good spot. Come on, man! No, I might lose this Clefable. Oh no. Oh no. Oh, dude. I can't complain because I've been hitting a lot of my moves in this league, but that's so bad. Did I play for everything around a Clefable? Like, I don't even think Rage Fist was KOing, which is why I didn't go for the Rage Fist. I do have a Crook, though. Crook can switch into Stored Power here. I think it's probably my best idea to go to Crook. I think it is my best idea to go Crook. But they might Moonblast now, which I would not love. I think I just go for a Drain Punch into the Clefable. All right, no Protect from Alcremie. I was expecting Protect from Alcremie potentially. Okay. A Freeze on the Alcremie, not the one I wanted. It's the Clefable I would have wanted. Okay. It does have a Berry. Okay, that's good to know. As we go for the Drain Punch, we get some damage in the Clefable. Okay. I wish I had Earthquake on Crook. I did run no on it. Or I didn't run Earthquake on it this week. We're going to see Stored Power. Okay, they do target down my Annihilate again. Okay, that's fine. I do want to retreat my Ninetales because the snow has stopped, so my Blizzards are a lot more inaccurate. So I think what my best play here is probably just to switch out the Ninetales to go into Crocodile, and we go kill a Watcho here, and we get some damage off into the Clef. So I like that idea. I'm going to go into Crocodile. I am going to go for a T-Bolt into the Clefable. Get some extra damage. Oh, boy. I wonder what the Alcremie was going to do there. If it was going to decorate again. I could have went into Crook, it looks like. But I don't think... I mean, I think at the same time, I think this is okay. The only problem is if this Clefable has Recovery. Like, that's my main problem. Is it has Draining Kiss or if it has the... Oh, what's it called? If it has Draining Kiss or Moonlight. It doesn't get Soft Boil anymore, right? I think that's like an old move that I don't think is in VGC or Gen 9 currently. Because I remember I think this thing got Soft Boil before. But yeah, we go Crook here. If they went for the Fairy move, good play on their part. Not much I can do. Go for the T-Bolt. Ooh, that's actually good damage. That's Fizz Def as heck then. That's plus 2 Spadef. Sword Power, good play from her going into the Kilowattrel. That's fine. Alcremie shouldn't be able to knock out my Crocodile. It can knock out my Kilowattrel, but I think that's okay. OBS, Dude, nothing's going right now. Oh, okay. Okay. I do apologize again. There isn't much I can do about the tech issue, unfortunately. So we're going to go for high horsepower in a Clefable, and we're going to go for a Thunderbolt into the Clefable. We're going to bank on this freeze. Even if they decide, hey, I'm going to protect, I still think it's my best interest. So let's see. Because I'm not really worried about Alcremie offensively, although Dazzling Gleam is a potential. But we'll find out. They do protect, which is smart. Okay. Thunderbolt. High horsepower. Okay. Come on, I missed like 2 gunk shots that were crucial. Nice, okay. All right, now we just got to hit the high horsepower in the clef. We should be able to easily knock out. But yeah, we go for high horsepower, we go for T-Bolt. That is our plan. It's really interesting because the modes I was expecting, like no T-Tar, no Garchomp, no Fletchinder, like all of those modes not brought. I did expect fairies, but this is a super passive Clefable. I mean, it's like a heavy setup Clefable, but yeah, it's like when you're playing stuff like T-Bolt, Blizzard, all that, can be a little bit tough here. All right, so I don't have to worry about the Bullet Punch on the Hitmontop. I might have to, but it doesn't KO my Ninetales. Unless it was like Choice Band. Choice Band was the only one. Unless it's Life Orb Hitmontop, but I really doubt it on a full support set. Thunderbolt going to come out in a Clefable. I get a Paralysis, but that shouldn't matter because high horsepower should KO. Yeah, perfect. Okay. All right, so Clefable goes down. What's your last Mon? Your last Mon's going to be pretty crucial. If it's Cypher, we click Rock Slide. If it's Gyarados, we click T-Bolt. What's the last Mon that they had, potentially? And they stay Frozen Solid. I'm sorry. It's actually funny because I've gotten so many freezes in the last 3 sets of this league, but I can never get them whenever I try Ninetales on the regulation H ladder. But then again, I missed 2 gunk shots, and the first one, it wasn't like KOing, but it was like nice damage. But that other one would have been huge. Okay, Houndstone is interesting as the last. I think I just high horsepower to Alcremie and I T-Bolt the Houndstone here. It could Shadow Sneak, which is fine. I'll KO the... I want to KO the Alcremie here and then force like a 2v1 situation. They can't Terra anymore, but Houndstone was water. Are they Scarf, actually? If they're Scarf, could that be annoying? I mean, Crook is a dark type, so it's not like too bad if it is. Is the last... Oh, wait. I think 2 high horsepowers will KO the Houndstone probably. And I don't think the Last Respect would do enough from a Scarf variant. Okay, it's not Scarf. Okay, I don't have to worry about that. T-Bolt, good damage. I'm so getting called a fraud by the end of this league. Goodbye, Alcremie. Okay. Alcremie down. Richard Decorate, and that's it. Last Respect into the Kilowatcher, which is kind of surprising. Okay. I'm guessing it doesn't have Shadow Sneak. Maybe she doesn't want to reveal it, but yeah, interesting. We go on a Ninetales here and we just click. I don't have a guaranteed way to win this. I have a very likely way to win this. Unfortunately, I do have very inaccurate moves, but yeah, we're going to go for high horsepower and we're going to go for a Blizzard. Yeah, I think we go for a single target Blizzard. Even if we can get Protect Stalled theoretically, I think it's still fine. What berry is this? Salic? No, citrus. Okay, I was about to say if that was Salic berry, I was like, what? High horsepower should KO though. Oh, it's Fluffy. Okay, that's fine. Last Respect to KO the Ninetales, takes a knockout. I don't think... I completely forgot. I had this in my prep too. I knew that it got Fluffy and I had it in the count that Fluffy, but it's not like in the main 6 I expected to be brought. Okay, high horsepower should KO at that range based on the previous damage. Does Last Respect KO me? It does not. Okay. I just need to hit the high horsepower. And I do hit the high horsepower, and that is game. Okay. Whew. Okay. Definitely a swing of turns. Definitely a swing of turns. I won't lie where I did say there was luck involved with the freeze. But There was also luck with the gunk shot because that Clefable would have been a lot less threatening without that decorate boost that it wouldn't have gotten from my gunk shot. Unless it's like, what's the poison berry? But I doubt that's the case. So we'll see. All right. All right. Oh, all right. Let's see how the rest goes. It's Fizz Def Clefable though, so I'm kind of curious if I can get away with some specific text. Also, fake outs, coaching. We didn't see wide guard, so I'm pretty curious if there's no wide guard or she expected me to switch out. I don't think we're gonna see Gyarados here, very likely. I could see Cypher lead, I suppose, but even if Cypher leads, that's fine, right? I do really like Reverum though. Reverum is decent, but the problem is I actually don't have... I almost brought like a Stomping Tantrum set, but I ran Protect at the last minute, which is frustrating to me. Also, it's probably unaware clap, so I don't think I really have to worry about it too much, but okay. I think we go with... I go Annihilate again. I could go with like Ninetales Crocodile lead, which is pretty effective here. I think Ninetales Crook makes a lot of sense. It kind of it was my main lead plan going into this team with like Sand Mode and stuff. I was very shocked to see or like Crocodile Ninetales, Crocodile Kilowattrel, which was my game plan, but I'm not sure if she has Tailwind at all. I also don't want to really lead the Kilowattrel this time. I think I just go with Annihilate and Kilowattrel though. Or I go Blastoise over 8, but I think this mode is fine as well. I kind of wish I had knockoff this time around, but I ran Rock Slide for the Cypher as well as being able to be good into the... what's it called? Fletchinder. Because one of my game plans was Kilowattrel, like quick attack into Fletchinder, and then Rock Slide to prevent their Tailwind, and then hopefully get my Tailwind up. They are Terra Ghost on the Cypher too, which is unfortunate. Okay, Clefable plus Cypher. Interesting. Versus Ninetales and Crocodile. I don't see a problem with me spamming Blizzard. I just... Can Cypher KO me with a -1 U-turn? Maybe if they're banded, but... Cypher. U-turn should not KO at -1. Okay. I do have Gunk Shot, and I'm willing to go for Gunk Shot because there's... She might... I mean, I do have the Terra Poison, but I don't know if she expects it. I think I just go for Gunk Shot and Blizzard. I think that's fine. If this is Tailwind, this is Tailwind. They do take a lot of damage from the Blizzard. I don't know if Cypher really has anything. There is a Terra involved here, so I'm curious if this is the Clefable or if this is the Cypher. It is going to be the Cypher, so I made the best call here because it is going to go into Terra Ghost, but that's completely fine. Now it's weak to my Annihilate in the back, which is great. Okay. So I do get the Blizzard off. Huge damage. Jeez. Okay, they are Tailwind, which is not surprising. Cosmic Power. Okay, so depending on the investment, I should actually be able to live the... I should be able to KO potentially. Okay, I land this Gunk Shot, so that's great. I get the KO on Clefable. Okay, Clefable goes down. Very nice KO there. Very nice KO. Granted, I don't have really the best switch-ins, but I feel like this is a pretty decent position. So let me try to figure out the HP numbers. My Blizzard did do a lot to go Cypher. It's definitely fast. Gyarados comes in. All right. It's intimidating on the Gyarados, which is surprising actually to me. If I can get Gyarados next to Kilowattrel, I'm in a great spot. This could be Iron Head Gyarados, so I don't think I want to risk it. I think I switch out a Ninetales into Annihilate. Do I switch out the Crocodile? I could Protect here. I think my play here that's optimal is to go Kilowattrel and go into Annihilate. Actually, maybe it's to Protect, but I want the Intimidate switch. The only thing is if this is Dragon Dance, like I'm really scared of Iron Head. I'm really scared of Iron Head from this Cypher or from the Gyarados, so that's why I want to switch out to Ninetales because Iron Head could knock me out depending on the set. What do I think is the back though? That's a good question too. It could be dual wing beats going into the Kilowattrel or a bug move, which would be fine too. They go for dual wing beats. Ooh, they catch my Annihilate. Good catch. Okay, did they double it though? They might have doubled it. Okay, they did. Okay, that kind of signals to me it's very unlikely. I think it's very, very unlikely that they have... I go Kilowatcher, I do get Crocodile, because I definitely don't live to... Actually, can Kilowatcher live to double up from Cypher and the Gyarados? Let me count the Gyarados on Waterfall. Waterfall to Kilowattrel at -1. It shouldn't. I don't think they can KO. I think I just go Crook. And get my Intimidate off into these Pokemon. And then get my own Tailwind up. Do I care if Crocodile goes down here? They already used their Terra. Yeah, I think I just go for Tailwind. I think I just go for Tailwind and I go for a... I want to say I just high horsepower here. Or I Rock Slide. Rock Slide's fine too. I think I Rock Slide. Nah, actually high horsepower. I high horsepower. I don't think they can knock out my Kilowatcher from this range. If they do, they do. But I don't think they should be able to. They're Terra Fire Gyarados. Doesn't matter in this game, but that's good to know. Dual Wing Beats and Tailwind. So I should have led Kilowatcher, but that's fine. Dual Wing Beats into Crook, which is interesting. Are they doubling it? I'm okay if they double it, because then I just get a free... Okay, yeah, that's fine. That is fine. So I get my Tailwind up, and now I'm in a huge advantage, because now I should be able to go for T-Bolt plus Moonblast, and I don't think they have a switch. Does Moonblast KO to Cypher? I'm curious. It's close, but we'll see. I'm just going to go for a Thunderbolt into the Gyarados. Should I ever Terra? Nah, I shouldn't Terra in this position. It could be like Waconberry, I guess, Gyarados. But I think it's better just to Moonblast to Cypher and Thunderbolt the Gyarados. Could be Sash too, I suppose. I don't know. Can Waconberry survive this? I bet it can. Okay, they protect, so I feel like they're not confident in it, which is nice. I should be able to get a nice Moonblast off into Cypher. Beautiful. The reason I say my Terra is because if it's him on top with Bullet Punch in the back, I need Terra Ground. Okay, I do KO to Cypher with Moonblast, which is what I expected. Beautiful. Okay. Their Tailwind peters out. I still have a turn of Snow, so I have the defense boost, which is really good here, actually. Like, that's really good. Him on top is the back. Okay, perfect. That's what I expected. We go for a T-Bolt into the Gyarados. We go for Moonblast. We target the Hitmontop. We know it's not a Solvest Hitmontop. I guess it could be like the Roselli Berry, but that should be fine. They go for Fake Out into Ninetales. Do they have a Conberry? They don't have a Conberry, it looks like. So I should win this game. Yeah, Gyarados goes down. All right, perfect. I don't have Protect on my Kilowattrel, so I can't Protect there. And they already terrestrialized their Cypher, so I don't have to worry about terrestrialization. Snow stops. I wouldn't be surprised if this is a Bullet Punch. We always go for the Thunderbolt into Hitmontop, and we always go for Terra Ground Moonblast. This covers the Bullet Punch from Technician Hitmontop, which I would not be surprised to see here. And we should easily live the Bullet Punch from the Hitmontop. And that will be a good game. Okay. Ninetales has been putting in work, man. Annihilate, you slacked off this week. I can't lie. Annihilate, you slacked off this week. Granted, I switched you in on a double up this game, but last game, come on. Like, the first gunk shot I think is completely fine to miss. Like, that's a thing. Two, especially the big crucial one, hitting the Alcremie before the Decorate, was the one that's like, okay, I don't think I could really afford to miss this. I had to go for my RNG outs, and I did. So, Ninetales is carrying the team on its back. All right. Terra Ground here. And then Thunderbolt Moonblast should blow up. No Bullet Punch, which I'm kind of shocked by. Okay, we get a Thunderbolt off and him on top. That also does a lot of damage. This Kilowattrel's on point too, man. This Kilowattrel's on point. Oh my goodness. Moonblast in a Hitmontop. I'm sorry for a bit of the RNG game. Granted, this game didn't have any RNG, I think. That was really noticeable. Last game, yeah. Like, it had it both sides. I think I mean, here's the thing. I wouldn't have needed that position if I did hit the gunk shot, but because I needed to have the freeze in order to have a chance, I was going to take advantage of it. So I had to kind of play to my outs there. Good games to Nekkra though. Oh man, this was definitely a stressful time period because that was definitely something. Apologize for the freezes again, Nekkra. This has been my Ninetales throughout this. Maybe I need to bring this Ninetales to Vegas. I think I should ball out with this Vegas. Just put everything on my Ninetales. Freeze everything. That's all I need to do with this Ninetales. But Jesus, make sure you go check out her and the rest of the coaches down below in the description. And yes, definitely was surprising. No T-Tar, no Garchomp. Was very shocked to see it. I thought she had some really clever sets, especially the Fable, but luckily I did have a lot of offensive pressure with I brought like multiple Pokemon with Gunk Shot to hit the fairies, and assuming I hit, I am in a good spot. Luckily we hit the one in game 2. Game 1, I mean, it is what it is. That's kind of risk I took for this team building prep, but I felt like the Mons were pretty solid indeed. Make sure you go check the coaches out, and we'll be moving on to next week